What the fuck? That's it? Nothing else? Annoyed the fuck? I was pretty excited to try it out. Nintendo, what the fuck? Looks very cheap, by the way. Old, rusty, stinky. Blech. Annoyed the shit. Drama? Storytelling? Hey! Nope. Nintendo, why the fuck? Hey! Hey! Am I crazy? I don't think I am. Mario Tennis Fever. It is one of the few exclusive games announced for Nintendo Switch 2 in 2026, which, at least in my eyes, makes the expectations for each one of those exclusives quite steep. So let's find out if Nintendo lives up to those expectations. Just you and me. Your cup of hot cocoa. You and me. Romantic music. You're watching Happywoolcorner, and this is the review for Mario Tennis Fever. Okay, so first of all, I would like to confess that I haven't been playing many games from Mario series since I was a kid. Most recently, I've been playing Mario Kart World, well, because we got Nintendo Switch 2, and it came with that, and, well, Mario Tennis Fever. That's the last Mario game what I've ever played. I mean, when I was a kid, I played quite a bunch, mostly from Nintendo 64. Yeah, I'm that old. But anywho, although I haven't been playing a lot of Mario games recently, I have been always in love with the characters and overall aesthetics of Mario universe. If that makes sense. It's kind of like Pokemon. I have more or less the same relationships with Pokemon franchise. Like, I haven't been playing a lot of Pokemon in my whole life, and I haven't been watching the whole show. I was just watching it on the telly when I was a kid. But somehow Pokemon just infiltrated every part of my childhood brain, and when you see Pokemon, that's just, wow, so cute. Oh, you're so cute. I want a Pikachu. And all of that. What's your favorite Pokemon, by the way? Write it down in the comment section. So yeah, even though I'm certainly not an expert in the franchise, perhaps I could still provide you with some new perspectives on the matter as an outsider. Okay? Do we agree? Cool. So, in 2 words, what is Mario Tennis Fever? Mario Tennis Fever is quite literally tennis, works by tennis rules, which are easy to pick up. If you have never played tennis in your life, you don't know the rules. Here is a very brief breakdown. So there is a court. The court is divided by the net in the middle. Opponents stay on each side of the court, hitting the ball with the rackets so it bounces at least once onto enemy side of the court. If it bounces more than once, the setter, the server, gets a point. If the receiver hits it back, well, now he's the server and you're the receiver, and you need to go back and forth till somebody loses, till somebody doesn't push it back, and they lose, and you get the point, and all of that goes for 5 to 7 points. The player who scores 5 or 7 points, depending on the game, wins. Sounds quite simple, right? And on top of that, you add Mario Universe, different characters, visual style, gameplay features, and it doesn't become much more complicated than regular original tennis, but delivers you more fun and unique experiences, or at least that's what it's supposed to be on paper. We'll figure it out right now, whether it lives up to that or not. So, the game comes with the adventure mode, tournaments, trial towers, free play, unique modes in Mix It Up. So, there is like a folder, it's called Mix It Up. Several pretty unique modes to play, and the swing mode. You can play locally or online with up to 4 people, you included. So, it's either you against 1 or 2 of you against 2 opponents from computer or 2 opponents from either local or online multiplayer. I have spent about 10 hours in Mario Fever so far, half of which I did spend in the adventure mode, so please keep that in mind. So it makes sense to me to review the story mode and the rest of the game separately. Please follow the timestamps right there. So here we go. Adventure mode or story mode. This is the only mode in the whole game what you cannot play in 2 or more people. And the only mode, the overall quality of which I question the most. Okay? Spoilers. Oh yeah, by the way, there will be spoilers. I don't care. There will be spoilers to the story. I'll let you know though. I'll let you know there will be signs here and there that there will be spoilers. But I mean, with all honesty, do you actually expect any groundbreaking, outstanding plot twists in Mario games? I mean, come on, seriously? Okay, so everything starts with Princess Daisy getting sick. Wario and Waluigi suggest going to the island where Mario and his friends can get a golden fruit, which can cure Princess Daisy. Spoilers! Nah, I'm joking. Everybody knows what happens next from Nintendo themselves. It wasn't trailers. So they come to the island, get the fruit, meet monsters. Monsters turn all of our favorite characters into baby versions of themselves. So after that, they deliver the fruit back to the castle. Princess Daisy is healed. But now our heroes need to find a way how to get back into their old, rusty, stinky, bleh, yucky bodies. And in order to do that, they join the tennis academy to develop their bodies, become stronger, and eventually come back to the island and defeat the monsters, which turned them into baby versions. Are you still with me? Okay. Because I just assumed that by now you might be asking, what the fuck? Yeah, so by now you might be asking, how the fuck? Yeah, so by now you might be asking, how tennis can help them at all? Why is tennis involved in it at all? I don't know. Honestly, I don't see any other reason for that besides the fact that the game is called Mario Tennis Fever. Okay, tennis. Tennis is there. So there you have it. Anyways, so we get into the academy and start training. Basically, this whole section of the game is a one big tutorial. You start at the junior league. Each time you complete a task, you get a completion sticker into your art book and rank up. By the way, it's surprisingly satisfying. Just collecting all those stickers, that's cool. Me likey. The ranks are F, I think there is an F, E, D, C, B, and A. With A, you play at the big stadium, and after that, you graduate from the academy, and then you finally go on your final quest. Each rank, you are taught different hits, tricks, footwork, and get access to different minigames serving as training rooms. Some of them are not related to tennis whatsoever and are there just for the fun of it. The whole academy took me about 3 hours to beat, and I have a bit of a question with that. When you open the game for the first time, you get into a tutorial, very basic mechanics and so on. That makes sense, right? For the people who just, they don't want to open like adventure mode, they just want to pick up the game for the first time, they want to know how to play, and then they just go straight to tournaments and they go straight to free play or whatever. They need to know how to play, right? So that kind of makes sense. You give them basic overall tutorial, good, like that idea. Me likey. But losing half of the story mode in favor of a more comprehensive tutorial sounds a bit like a waste of time to me. I think it would be better to have the academy as a separate mode. So if somebody wants to learn all the mechanics, tips, tricks, and just practice more, they could do that. And if you go to the adventure mode, you would actually go through a story, go on an adventure, okay? That would make much more sense to me. But hey, no, you don't get that. Another thing, what bothers me is the delivery of the story. Overall, none of the characters talk. All the story and dialogues are made in this old school JRPG style with two moving heads on each side and the text in the middle. I understand that Mario has never spoken in any of Mario games, apparently, and that is the Nintendo's guideline or artistic choice. I understand that. It sort of makes sense. It makes these characters sort of timeless that way. But at the same time, I mean, come on, it is 2026 and we had Mario movie. We heard them talking in the movie on the screen. It was awesome. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. I'm not asking them to invite Chris Pratt or Jack Black or Anya Taylor-Joy, the whole rest of the cast, and so on. I understand that Mario Tennis Fever is not the flagship title like that. I get it. But I mean, it would be awesome, no? And I think they could get less expensive actors. I mean, seriously, these days you can buy a game from an indie game studio, which is gonna be fully voiced, okay? And guess what? It's not going to cost $100, okay? Another missed opportunity, what Mario Tennis Fever has, is not integrating the talking flower with the game. Okay, so let me explain. The only actual talking character in the whole game is the talking flower. That exact talking flower from Mario Wonder, what Nintendo started selling on their website about a month ago. It costs about $30. You can get it. It can tell you the time, weather, tells you when to wake up or go to sleep, can play music from Mario games apparently, and say random stuff once or twice per hour. I don't know why do you need that function, but I guess that just to keep you company, just for the funsies of it. And it has 11 languages. That's kind of cool. But that's about it. I honestly don't know whom Nintendo was planning to sell it to. Don't know if there is a market for it at all. Would you buy one for yourself? Tell me why. But I definitely know
For sure
that if you could connect the physical talking flower to, well, let's say Mario Tennis Fever, and it could comment on your game from the comforts of your home and not through your TV speakers, that would be much cooler. And I think that would make their sales to go up much faster in bigger quantities. That's just my 2 cents. I would consider getting one for myself. That would be fun streaming with. But hey, nope, we don't get that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know how easy it would be to implement this idea, but it is just sad that they didn't. It would be so cool. Like the game talks to you, talking flower comments on your game through the talking flower, which you have in your bedroom or like in your living room. That would be so cool, no? And maybe they could implement the same idea in other games, what they have, right? Am I crazy? I don't think I am. So yeah, I don't know. That is just kind of sad that they didn't implement this. And it would be even sadder if they didn't even think about it. If it just never crossed their mind. And it just me sitting here and be like, hey, you can do that. And they're like, no, yet another quite questionable idea. What kind of bothers me is the level progression in the story mode. Not the sole fact that it exists, but the fact that it is absolutely pointless, useless, and doesn't change anything. I mean, maybe it does, and I didn't notice anything. Please let me know. But from my understanding, it doesn't really. I didn't see any change. It seems like this system is there just to imitate your progression through the game, just to trick your brain, and that's it. Nothing else. The levels in the adventure mode as a whole another level of what the fuck questionable decision making. While you are still in the tennis academy, you have 3 locations to run about: the entrance, the yard, and the training center itself. As a reminder, going through tennis academy took me about 3 hours. I basically spent 3 hours in those 3 locations. If you think that is bad, I've got bad news for you. Because on your way to the final boss, you'll be going through several different levels within different biomes. And none of that matters. Because the level designs came to us straight from 90s apparently. And I mean, honestly, in 90s there were more inventive level designs in JRPGs and so on. I mean, I'm talking zero variability, just one long sausage of a corridor. The only thing you do is quite literally just running from A to B, from one tennis related activity to another tennis related activity. You can interact with your companions in a way, and they will say one phrase, if any at all. Sometimes they just do sounds like, hey, hey, hey. I just don't understand why you need levels like that. They don't offer you anything. It's just a waste of time. Just push me from one activity to another activity. Don't keep me hostage. Also, this is a fun thing. I could never imagine that a sound sample can annoy me that much. I've played a lot of games, like throughout my whole life. I played a lot of games, okay? Mostly when I was a kid and when I was a teenager. Like right now, these days, I don't play as much as I used to, okay? But oh boy, the sound sample of Mario footstep, just when Mario's walking, annoyed the shit. It annoyed me quite a lot, to put it politely. I'm sorry. But in one of the future locations, you need to walk quite an extensive period of time, and that sound sample, just like a drill through your brain. Oh my god. And by the way, I can say the same thing about the jingle, which you get after you win the match. I know people will be skipping it as soon as they can, but once you let it go and just let it roll, turns out there are only like 4 bars looping cycles. I mean, could it be at least 10 seconds? Just 10-second loop? Would it be so much harder? So much expensive? I don't know, but try that. You let it roll for like, I don't know, 10 seconds? That's gonna annoy you very much. A lot. Anyways, coming back to the story.
Spoilers!
After graduation from the tennis academy, we get onto our flying ship. Wario and Waluigi also want to become normal again, so they come along and offer us to play a tennis match. Just because they are bored. Drama? Storytelling? Nah. Seriously though, it's going to happen several times throughout the story when the reason for us to play tennis is as big as for Mortal Kombat characters to fight. Hey! Did you see my pizza? Yes. Where is it? I ate it. How dare!
Round 1. Fight.
Hey, how are you? None of your business.
Round 2. Fight.
Hey!
Round 3.
Aww.
Fight.
So, we play tennis against Wario and Waluigi and get introduced to Fever Rackets, the selling point and the biggest change in Mario Tennis series. It is 30 of them in a whole game. Each one of them has its own ability. Some of them feel more imbalanced than the other, but I think every player can find a racket which can match their preferable playing style. You'll try out several of them throughout the story mode, and you can unlock the rest by competing in tournaments, trial towers, and so on. My favorite ones so far are the Ice Racket, Freezing Racket, Fire Bar Racket, Amp Racket. I think you understand the pattern. In other words, any racket which lets me to control a part of opponent's court. Is it fair? Nope. Not really. Feels quite imbalanced. I can see how it can be fun to play with your friends or family just as a one more party game. But once you start playing competitively, honestly, one fewer shot can win or ruin your game entirely. I had matches when I landed 2 firebar fever shots onto opponent's side of the court, one after the other, and it was basically an instant win. I don't know what it feels like after 20 to 50 hours of playtime, but for now, fever rackets look fun, certainly fun, but quite imbalanced to me. But I digress again. So, we play against Wario and Waluigi.
Spoilers!
They used flame rackets and put our ship on fire. And after that, we have to put out the fire. Then Bowser swang by on his ship and tried to bomb us with rockets. So we need to hit all those rockets back at his ship. Basically, whatever happens in the story, the basic gameplay doesn't really change. You either dodge enemies' attacks or hit their projectiles back at them. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that all those activities are bad or boring. It's pretty fun. I actually quite enjoyed it. I think the developers provide you with enough variable situations. They're different enough, so it doesn't feel like you keep doing basically the same thing again and again. But in a nutshell, yeah, the basic gameplay doesn't really change. But I digress again.
Spoilers.
We ended up without the ship and found a secret passage behind the waterfall into this very cold cave castle. Starting from there, the structure of the levels becomes even more cyclical. In game design, it's called the rule of three, and I feel like the developers of Mario Tennis Fever just took it as Bible. So you get to the level, you need to defeat one monster. It's going to be one small monster. Then after that, you get a bigger monster to defeat. And then on the third time, you get the boss, the biggest monster. Again, it's going to be the same monster, the same mechanic. It's just going to take you more time to defeat it. The way all the monsters disappear after you defeat them looks very cheap, by the way.
Spoilers.
Spoilers? What spoilers?
We get out from the cave, meet Donkey Kong, defeat giant fish in the lake, then get to the jungle, defeat giant piranha plants, and meet Princess Daisy after her recovery. We defeat Wario and Waluigi once again. Then we get into the swamps and defeat the swamp snakes, whatever those creatures were. Then, finally, we get to the tomb, so we defeat those monsters, finally, one at a time. Then in the very end, we defeat Bowser with the big boss, the big monster, and that is it, the end. Yay! Finally. No more spoilers. So overall, what do I like about the adventure mode? Pretty good combinations of game situations with tennis gameplay. The game looks good, feels and plays good. Pretty much everything what involves tennis, the actual tennis gameplay feels good. Also, I like that the difficulty curve is fairly balanced most of the time, and the progress is well thought after. However, for some reason, there were a couple of matches which turned out to be extremely difficult. It wasn't like a very important match, it was just a mundane, regular training match against Toad. It was Mario, Luigi against Toad. He was beating us up for 30 minutes straight. I'm not exaggerating right now. It was insane. And when I finally got to the next, potentially much more challenging match right after, I won that in like 2 minutes. I don't know why. It felt like a glitch. That was weird. Almost made me angry. Anywho, adventure mode is far from being the most important part of Mario Tennis Fever. Most of people will probably never even open it and just go straight to tournaments or free play just to play against one another. If you plan on playing with your partner, let them win time after time, or you won't be playing with them ever again. True story. There are 3 tournaments: Mushroom Tournament, Flower, and Star. They differ in opponent's difficulty and the number of sets what you need to win the match. Then the trial towers. There are 3 towers available at the very beginning. Each tower consists of 10 trials. Each of those trials, you get to play different characters with different rackets against different opponents for different objectives. After you beat those, you get to play 100 more of those individually crafted trials. Am I gonna play them all? Nope. Then you have Mix It Up. It's a mode, but it's basically a folder of different modes inside of it. In the ring shot, you gotta shoot the ball through the hoops. The smaller the hoops you shoot through, the more points you get. It's a quite easy and relaxing play. It doesn't really matter if you lose the ball or not. The only thing what matters is what scores you are gonna get. The person who gets bigger scores wins. Forest court match. This one is much more complicated and a little annoying. So the court is divided into 16 squares. The grass is considered inside the court. The dirt is considered outside the court. If you feed the ball into the piranha's plant on the opponent's side, the squares around that plant will turn into grass, so expanding the size of their court. Did I know all of this information while I was playing it? Nope. This is my least favorite mode.
For sure.
The court becomes too big for my taste, and there are too many moving elements, too busy, too noisy. Then Pinball Match. Regular tennis on a pinball board. That's about it. You can trigger pinball effects to distract your opponent. Pretty fun to play, but I don't think I'll spend a lot of time with it though. Then Racket Factory Match. It is the mode where you can change your fever racket to a random one mid-game several times. Can be fun. I'll probably keep playing it occasionally. Then Wonder Court Match. This is like a regular tennis match, but once you trigger the Wonder Flower, the court will change. Sounds like a very ambitious mode so far. I haven't played it much. I played just a couple matches through it. It was fun, but my biggest question is how much content do they have for this Wonder match just to keep it fresh and exciting? Because the number of random encounters which you can get through Wonder Flowers will drastically affect the longevity of this mode for a lot of people, including me. And of course, you get free play to play with your friends, family, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, against computer, in local play, or against virtual opponents. I believe this is going to be the most played mode of all among all the people, and it will probably even be the only mode what people will ever play. So when you get into the mode, you can choose a court type. Each court has its own quirks and tricks. All of them differ by the speed of the ball and the bouncing. Actually, you need to think strategically, like what kind of character, racket, what shots you're going to be using, because that's a very important question too. Speaking of the shot types, so you get the bouncy topspin, the slower curved slice, the faster flat shot, which only goes in straight lines. It's very hard to aim, but it's fast and straight. All three of those you can charge. So if you press once, your character starts charging it, and then when the ball comes to you, you can smash it and it's gonna go faster. Then there is a high arc lob shot. So you do the combination and you shoot the ball high, potentially behind your opponent. And then there is a tricky drop shot, which can fly closer to the net. That's a perfect shot to trick your opponents. All of these shots were transferred from Mario Tennis Aces directly to Mario Tennis Fever. And they are not the only things which got transferred from Mario Tennis Aces to Fever. But let's talk about that later. There are 38 playable characters to choose from. I haven't tried them all, of course. I have only played several of them. So I played Mario, Baby Luigi, Baby Mario, Luigi, Rosalina, Pauline, Bowser Jr., and Boo. I have a couple of things to say. So first, every character indeed feels different. You definitely need some time to get used to a new character. Just adjust to their play style, pros and cons. A quick tip, because Boo is a ghost, any floor related fever shots is not gonna affect Boo. Let's say your opponent shoots you with frozen racket or ice racket, Boo can just go about it no problems. At least that was my experience. There are several types of tennis players. Well balanced, all-arounder, technical with high accuracy, speedy is fast, powerful is slow, and powerful, defensive, I guess that's obvious, and tricky. Those guys have very angled curves, so it becomes a little tricky to play against them, tricky. Each character comes with their own characteristics in 4 categories: speed, power, control, and spin. Which brings me to the second thing what I wanted to say. Rosalina, straight up Imba. So here's a pro tip. You pick Rosalina with a firebar racket or the ice racket, shoot extremely curved labs non-stop. Then once you get a fever shot, you shoot the fever shot. And once the fever shot is there, if the opponent is there around that ice pool, well, you shoot the lab to the other side. That's an instant win. If the opponent is on the other side, well, you shoot it to the ice pool. That's an instant win. The same thing with firebar rackets and all other area controlling rackets. You're welcome. So overall, the free play mode is the whole essence of the game in a nutshell. And it's great. It is fun to play, easy to learn, hard to master. All the characters and chords feel actually differently. Different fever rackets give you unique abilities to play with. Overall, everything related to tennis gameplay is top-notch. And if you want to keep it more competitive, just disable fever rackets so you don't turn your games into who landed the fever shot first wins. I mean, at least in my experience, this rule works more often than not. So then we come to the swing mode. This is the mode where you can use an individual Joy-Con and swing it in the air, just like swinging a racket at the real court. I was pretty excited to try it out for myself, mostly because one of the things what I always wanted to buy, but I didn't, was Nintendo Wii, and swinging mode in Mario Tennis Fever seemed to be like a good opportunity to get at least some level of Nintendo Wii experience. And I'm sorry, unfortunately, I don't get it. I really don't understand how to play it. Maybe you can help me in comment section. Please tell me what I'm doing wrong, seriously, because I don't understand. So when you open the swing mode, there is no tutorial whatsoever. So how I played it, you can swing the racket with the Joy-Con and your character will perform different shots automatically. I don't know how to control it. I don't know how to control what shot you're gonna use. I don't know how to move the character. The character is moving on its own automatically, but at the same time, you can use the nipple and you can control the character, but I cannot figure out how you can control the character and also swing the racket. My monkey brain cannot comprehend it, especially if I do this and I need to move that way. So it's like my thumb and my arm needs to do something in different directions. It feels off to me and I don't really understand how to play it. I don't want to claim that swing mode is just straight up bad, but for now, swing mode is just a pass for me. So to summarize, here is a brief summary for you. Anything related to tennis, straight up S tier. Story mode, C tier. Different modes, B tier overall. I would put Mario Tennis Fever at B+/A tier. I would have if I didn't do my little research before I started recording this video. Research is directly involving comparing Mario Tennis Fever with the previous game in the lineup, Mario Tennis Aces. And oh boy, graphically, Mario Tennis Fever is a huge step up, hands down, amazing. The textures, lighting, effects, resolution, colors, frame rate, everything feels fresh and new. What doesn't feel fresh and new is the total copy-paste of animations for characters. I understand that these animations, what they have are their signature moves, so I guess they transfer from one game to the other, but it feels like cheating. When you buy a game for $100 and a lot of content in it came from the previous game, if I had Mario Tennis Aces, I would be asking questions for sure. Same with the shot types. So aside from fewer rackets and some advanced footwork, Mario Tennis Fever doesn't really provide you with something outside the box in comparison to Aces. On contrary, by the way, according to internet, again, I haven't ever played Aces, okay? But according to internet, it seems like Aces had more techniques and moves. Mario Tennis Fever looks and feels more smooth and intuitive to my taste, less skill demanding than Aces. I wouldn't say that reducing the number of shots is automatically a bad thing. I just wanted to mention that Fever Core gameplay is basically Aces, just under another angle. But there is a thing. What became my personal Nintendo, what the fuck? But there is a thing, what became my personal Nintendo, why the fuck? But there is a thing, what became my personal why moment is the story mode in Aces. As I said before, I haven't played it, so please don't blame me. But just scrolling through a walkthrough on YouTube, seeing the locations, reading about it online, the diversity of gameplay situations, the way you travel through the world, the storyline itself. I mean, again, don't get me wrong, but it looks like an actual story mode in comparison to long tutorial from Fever. Fever's adventure mode is just a child's play in comparison to Aces. I don't understand how the same developer could came up with such drastically different results. So, to summarize, if you want a tennis-related game with a good story mode, I think Mario Tennis Aces is a much better choice. I'll probably consider getting it when my schedule becomes less busy, but if you're not interested in the adventure mode, I think Mario Tennis Fever is still going to be a better choice for you. It looks better, plays smoother, has more modes and characters. Don't play adventure mode in Mario Tennis Fever. Avoid it if you can, and you won't be disappointed. So, there you have it. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Have you tried it yet? Have you considered buying it? Please leave your comments down below. For timely news and thoughts, you can follow my Telegram channel, Happywoolcorner. Visit my streams on YouTube and Twitch. I know I haven't been streaming for quite a long time, but I've got some exclusive projects to cover in the nearest future. So I think I'll be streaming very soon. Stay tuned for the updates. A good idea would be to subscribe to this channel and to follow my Telegram, as I said before. Don't forget to give this video a like. Your support is very important to me. Also, once I get my first precious 100 subscribers, I'll release a very exclusive video for you all. I'm very much looking forward to shooting it for you. And in the end, I just wanted to say, play good games, hug someone you love, and as always, stay warm and cozy. Bye. Let me tell you about our trip to FanExpo. Happened in Vancouver in February 2026. Yeah, that was a marvelous experience. We've been there only a couple of times so far. Look at that. We got 3 autographs. Guess who that was? Look at that. That's Catherine Tate. Catherine Tate herself. We got very lucky with it. We came up to her. We didn't have to wait a lot. Had a pretty nice chat with her. Catherine is amazing and all of that. Love her. The seasons of Ten's Doctor, David Tennant with Catherine Tate, one of my favorite seasons overall. So yeah, that was a marvelous experience. Just meeting her in person and just have a little cozy, warm chat. That was very nice. Catherine, if by any chance you see that, hello, hi, nice to meet you. I hope we can see each other ever again one day, maybe. Maybe we can work somewhere. Come here. Come to my show. Come to my show. Come to my interview. This is like one of the most impressive and just most precious relics for me so far. Like if one day David Tennant comes to town, David, I'm waiting, David. Here, signature. Okay, thank you. Okay, another one. What we've got? That's Elijah Wood. That was a little bit of a hustle to get his autograph, unfortunately. Like we got lost for a second, and when we came by, the line was already gone. So we had to wait. We had to wait for basically an hour to get his signature, but here it is. Very nice. What kind of put me off a little, they only had pictures of him from Lord of the Rings. I mean, I understand why, but still, he's got a pretty nice TV show. It's called Dirk Gently. Not everybody knows about it, but it's a pretty good show. I highly recommend watching it. Seriously good. And it actually was shot in Vancouver, in BC. So yeah, that would be amazing if I could get a picture from that show. But yeah, this is a pretty nice relic. This is a pretty nice relic as well. And the last one, oh my god. So this is a signature from Christopher Judge himself. God of War and all of that. Stargate. I got it for one of my friends. He had a birthday, so I'm gonna send it to him. I hope he likes it. But experience with Christopher Judge. Oh my god, that was butter smooth. Like you come to him, you start talking to him. It's like swimming in a very, very warm, salty water, like very warm, cozy bath with bubbles. Like he starts talking to you, and the whole world stops. The time stops. Everything stops. It's just you and him, and it's just everything is buttery smooth. I don't know how to explain that in any better terms than that. But yeah, well, that was a pretty amazing weekend what we had. You can check out the photography account of my partner. That's a pretty nice essence of the whole event right there. Check it out. Okay, yeah, but we're not here for that. We're here to talk about Mario Tennis Fever. And why do I like it or why I do not like it? Let's figure it out. Okay, let's go. Mario tennis figure.